Hello students. Yesterday we have discussed about how the current is flowing in any conductor, and there in the case of current flow, as we have seen that when we are not applying any external electric field, then that time no current is flowing in the circuit. But when we started to apply some electric field, then some drift velocity electrons are just facing, and due to their drift velocity or due to acceleration, they start to accelerate towards the positive end of the terminal that we have connected to the conductor. So it means that due to the application of electric field, external electric field, current is started to flow, or current electricity we are just obtaining in any conductor. So this case we have discussed already, and for that case we have obtained the value of drift velocity, that was A into tau, and value of E was equal to EEM upon tau. So as its magnitude I am just taking. So for any electron, for any charge, if you can write Q here, and if its mass is M, and tau time it is taking, that is relaxation time. If electric field we have applied, then its drift velocity that it is obtaining or gaining to move from one end to another end, this is given by this term. Now with the help of this drift velocity term, we can detect Ohm's law easily. So for the detection of Ohm's law, one more thing that we have discussed already, we will use that also. What is the relation between current and drift velocity? So I have derived that one also. So I is equal to NEA V into D. This formula we have obtained before. So I think that is now also clear. And also we know that mobility is given by, so let's first see that this concept we can write in how many forms. So here, as mobility of the any charges, that is given by, as mu E. Suppose for electron I am talking, so mu E is given by drift velocity per unit electric field. So from here, if we will calculate what is the value of Vd, so this is equal to E into mu E. So we can write in the place of Vd in I, that is I is equal to N E A E into mu E. This is also a kind of relation for the current and mobility. So from here, if for we are applying a constant electric field, then for that case the current is directly proportional to mobility, means greater will be the mobility of any charge carrier, greater will be current flow in the conductor. So it is very simple thing is that as mobility represent how fast the motion of any charge. So if motion of charge is fast, movement of charge is fast, then due to the rate of flow of charge we are getting current. So obviously current will be increased there. Clear, I think. So this is the second relationship for the current. Also we know that here in the case of Vd, we can also write it in this term. So you can also use in terms of Vd this term in this equation. So if you will use that term, then we can obtain I, this is equal to NEA, Vd is equal to EE upon M. So from here we can write this is Ne square A into E upon M. So this term also we are getting here. So I think that is now clear. We can obtain these terms from here also. Now let's see how can we deduct the Ohm's law by using the concept of drift velocity or by using such kind of formula. So I will use this formula here for the deduction of Ohm's law. So here one relationship that we have derived in between I and E from here. Now let's suppose this is equation number first. It means that when we will apply some electric field E, then current will start to flow in the conductor, and that current can be given as in this equation. So next term, as we are supplying or the simple thing is that if we have applied electric field E over the length small l, then we can write V is equal to some E into L, or we can calculate value of E. So this will be equal to obviously V by L. Now we can write in the place of the E, we can write this value of E. So this is the value of E in the terms of potential and length of the conductor that we have taken. So here if we will write V by L. So from this factor, if you will calculate what is the value of V, so this is obtained as this is ml upon ne square a into I. And from here, if you will see this whole bracket term, so in this whole bracket term, m mass of the charge, that is also constant. L length of conductor, we have taken it already. We are taking the precise finite length for the conductor, that is fixed already. For this small n is number density of electron, means number of electrons per unit volume, that is also constant number. E is electronic charge, that is also constant, and A is area of the conductor, it is also constant. Clear? So it means that if we will keep all these factors as the constant, means the physical condition, we are just keeping it constant. Physical condition means its area, length we are keeping constant, and mass we are just charge that we have taken, that is already constant, and means all these factors. And also one more thing, if we have to keep constant, that is temperature, because if temperature will increase, and due to increase in temperature, this small n will increase or decrease. So according to that, obviously this value will change. So if these all factors are constant, then for that value, this whole bracket term, this whole term will be constant here. So we can write in the place of this whole term a new just constant, that is R. So from here you can see that this is Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, or V is directly proportional to I. So we can easily derive Ohm's law by using the concept of drift velocity, by using the concept of current flow in any conductor. And from here, if you will see the value of R, so this is equal to R, this is given by ml upon ne square A. So from this value, you can also calculate what will be the value of resistance of any conductor. So here, as we have already understood, R is directly proportional to L upon A, and according to that, we have obtained R is equal to rho L by A. This formula we have derived before, we have already understood that things. So from in this case, you can see that the value of resistivity, that is given by rho is equal to m upon ne square. So from here you can see that, as I have told you already, resistivity is the property of fundamental property of any conductor. It means that already if you will see these three quantity, mass, electronic charge, and number density of electron, these all terms are already the fundamental of the conductor, means how many number of charges in the conductor, that is also its fundamental property. And on every electron, you know that its mass and electronic charge is constant. So this is all the basic property of the conductor, and this rho represent this basic property. Means greater will be the number of electron in any system, and greater will be the electronic charge, then for that case resistivity will be smaller. So you know that already in the case of conductor, resistivity of any material is very small. So you can also prove it from this factor. From here, rho is inversely proportional to n, means greater will be number density, greater will be the number of electrons per unit volume, less will be its resistivity, greater will be its conductivity. So from this factor we can also calculate what is the conductivity of the metal. Then conductivity of the material is given by 1 by rho. From here we can write ne square upon m. So this is the conductivity of the material that you can calculate also. So simple this deduction that we have understood just now, we can deduce all the expressions, the resistance, conductivity, conductance, all things that we have discussed before, and also we can understand on which factor these terms are dependent on. Like if you will see the resistance of the conductor, so it is depending on length, mass of the charge, number density, charge on the system, and charge on the particle, and area of the conductor. So these factors, all these factors just influence the resistance of any material that is produced due to the large number of charge carriers. So I think that concept is now clear. How can we deduce Ohm's law? How can we understand this concept? Next here we will discuss the concept of temperature dependency or effect of temperature on resistance and resistivity. So here our next topic is effect of temperature. So let's see this factor first. As I told you already, in the case of Ohm's law, if we will vary or if temperature is varying, then that time it will not be, follow the V is equal to IR relationship. Reason is that I just told you, due to increase in temperature, some of the charges will increase. So what is exactly the reason why with change in temperature, every property of conductor is changing? Like conductivity, conductance, resistance, resistivity, all these properties are changing, and let's see how they are changing with change in temperature here. So as first of all, as you know that every atom is made up of positive core nucleus and large number of electrons that is revolving around the nucleus, and obviously that electron is bounded from the electrostatic force of nucleus. So it means that a force is acting between electron and core nucleus. I think this concept is now clear. And obviously if we want to make free any electron, as normally you know that electrons are outermost electron, they are behaving like the free electron, behaving like the gas, that's why they are called free electron. So but that free electron is also bound to by the nucleus by some force. So if we will supply some of the energy from the outside, then definitely that electron will achieve energy to oppose the force through which it is bonded through the nucleus, and it will become free totally. So it means that number of electrons will be increased in the system. Secondary thing, again if we will increase temperature, then due to increase in temperature, obviously thermal energy will be supplied to the system, and that energy will be supplied to the again bonding that is between two atoms, or bonding between covalent bonding between electrons, or simple you can say that it is supplied to overcome the electrostatic attraction force between core nucleus and electrons. So it means that more number of electrons will be freed if continually thermal energy we are increasing. So when already in our conductor a large number of electrons we have, then more number of other electrons will be generated there, additional number of electrons will be generated. So you can say that with increase in temperature, a large amount of charges that will be generated in the system. So if a large amount of charges will be generated and our conductor's physical condition like length and area is not changing, then definitely that electrons, they will also achieve due to thermal energy, they will not only overcome the bond electrostatic attraction force of the nucleus, they will also gain some kinetic energy due to that thermal energy. So obviously due to their greater kinetic energy, as you know that actually according to kinetic theory of gases, we can just write down this term K is equal to 3 by 2 K into T. This is the kinetic interpretation of the temperature. If temperature is increasing, it will increase also the kinetic energy of gases. As electrons are behaving like that, this will also achieve kinetic energy. So if kinetic energy will achieve, then that time electron will move very randomly, very fastly. They will start to collide with each other more greatly, and due to that they will start to block the path of the other electrons. Means the charges that were flowing in disciplined way, now they will start to seize and everyone's motion easily. So as I was talking about the collision between the electrons that started to begin, that's why it's obviously blocking property of the flow of charge that will start, means its resistance increases due to increase in temperature. We can also understand it by the formula that we have written before. So in that formula, I think one term was missing, student. I think you have to correct that also. As R is equal to, we have written there, this is ml upon ne square a into tau should be here actually. Just write down where we have written it. So in that case, if R is equal to this term we have, then for this term, obviously if you will see all these terms, suppose if we are not increasing a large amount of temperature, otherwise whole of the system will burn out. So to just prevent them, we are increasing very small amount of temperature. Then for that case, the number density for unit volume, that will not change very appreciably, but the as I told you, electrons are getting kinetic energy due to change in temperature. So due to the gain in kinetic energy, they will start to collide, and due to the collision, obviously they will take more time to reach from one end to another end, because they are blocking each other path. They are just changing the direction of each other path. Means if they were taking 2 seconds to reach anywhere, now they will take 5 seconds, 10 seconds to reach there. Means the relaxation time, average relaxation time, that will start to increase. They will start to change actually the relaxation time, and due to the change in relaxation time, definitely means obviously due to random, I think that I was wrong exactly here, due to change in velocity, kinetic energy, they will take more, not more time, they will start to move rapidly, and due to that they will just reach more frequently. So relaxation time will change due to that factor, and from here you can see that this relaxation time is inversely proportional to this. It means that relaxation, average relaxation time, that will start to decrease, because average relaxation time, why it is decreasing actually, in any system a large number of atom and electrons we have, and some electrons that are near to the positive plate, they will reach more frequently due to the change in kinetic energy. The greater actually the greater time that is taken by only the distant electron, but the nearer electron may reach more rapidly. Due to that, this time will decrease and resistance will increase there. So simple resistance, if you want to understand it, you can understand it by the blocking property, opposing property that I just told you, due to increase in their kinetic energy. Now let's see how it is changing with the change in temperature. So basically the resistance of any conductor at any temperature T degrees Celsius, it is given by the factor, that is RT is equal to some R0 1 plus alpha T plus some beta T square. Means at T degrees Celsius, its resistance of the conductor is changing by this formula, but as temperature we are not changing very large, very appreciably, then this term will be very small. So we can neglect this term, we can write only 1 plus alpha T. So generally we are just representing the change in resistance with temperature by this formula here. And here R0 is the resistance of temperature at absolute zero temperature. So this is absolute zero temperature. This one term here that we are just seeing, that is alpha. T is at which temperature we want to see the resistance. That resistance at that temperature is RT. So alpha is known as coefficient of resistance, or simple temperature coefficient of resistance. So this term represent whether resistance is increasing with temperature or decreasing with temperature. So it means that for any material, if we have knowledge about the temperature coefficient of resistance, then we can understand which kind of material we have. Even you can just distinguish material, you can analyze the material also. Reason, let's see why. As I have just discussed, if there is increase in temperature, then due to increase in temperature, resistance is also increasing. So to increase in resistance, it is at absolute zero temperature. So if you are seeing that here it is increased by some alpha factor. So if alpha is positive, then obviously resistance will increase with increase in temperature. So it means that for that case, resistance RT will be greater than R0. Means at some temperature, if we are increasing temperature, its resistance will increases accordingly for this case. So the first property through which you can categorize any conductor, that is its temperature coefficient of resistance is positive. So for the metal like copper, aluminium, like this kind of materials that we have, for that alpha is always positive quantity. Means for the conductor, resistance is always increasing with increase in temperature. For semiconductor material, if you will talk about that, then for that case, this alpha is negative. Alpha is negative for semiconductor. It means that if you will write here negative value, means its resistance is not decreasing, so it will be less than R0. Means in the case of semiconductor, when we start to increase temperature, then there is also there is decrease in resistance, means conductivity of the system, conductance is increasing there. Reason already I just told you by the help of electron model, that is very easy to understand exactly. Like if we are increasing temperature, then due to increase in temperature already there are very few number of charge carriers, so most of the energy that system will use to as for semiconductor alpha is negative, it means that its resistance is decreases with increase in temperature. So in this way you can distinguish any kind of material that is given to you for which the temperature coefficient of resistance is what, it is positive or negative. Even we can compare two metals by it, which metal is better for the conductivity. So obviously the metal is better for which resistance is very small, or due to change in temperature there is small change in resistance there. So it means suppose we have for one metal for which resistance at any temperature T, that is RT suppose we have, and for that case if this is R0, this is 1 plus alpha T. Or for the same material even we can understand it also, and for that case if suppose we have a resistance some R2 R1, and for that it has this one, and it has temperature some T1. Similarly we can find out R2 resistance, means with we are just changing the temperature again, and we will just want to see what is exactly the change in resistance with increase in temperature. So here we have increased temperature from T1 to T2, we just want to see what will be the change in resistance from here. So you can understand easily what will be the change in resistance. So if you will see alpha from here, so alpha can be written as R2 minus R1. If you will take their differences from both sides, then this term will be cancelled out. This term here it will be equal to R0 T2 minus T1. So this will be T2 minus T1. So in this way you can see simply we can find out what is the temperature coefficient even for two different resistance, means by measuring the resistance at two different temperature we can also calculate it, and after calculation if it is positive then that will be conductor, if it is negative then that can be insulator and semiconductor both actually. So for insulator and for semiconductor its resistance is decreasing by increasing temperature, its conductivity is increasing there. So this factor is now clear. Now where we are using this kind of information of the resistance with change in temperature, so as we are using to make any standard resistor, we are using alloys like magnin, Eureka and Constantan. These materials we are using, these alloys we are using to make a standard resistor. Reason why we are using, so for that kind of material they have a high value of resistivity. So it means that for magnin, for Constantan, for any alloy of Eureka, if we are making any standard resistor with using these kind of material, then that resistor will have a high resistivity, means it will have the high capability to oppose the flow of current there. Second means they are good resistors. Resistor has the work to oppose the flow of current, and it has already high resistivity, but it has that property in the greater way. Second property it has, they have a small temperature coefficient of resistance, means the value of alpha that is very small for such kind of material. So like for copper if you will see, that is nearly equal to 10 power minus 3. For magnin if you will see, that is 10 power minus 5 near about in order of the value. So it means you can see here and there temperature coefficient of resistance is alpha, that is very small. So what is the benefit of the small alpha? It means that there will be very small change in the resistance for the great change in temperature. Actually, alpha is what it is representing, that with change in temperature, how the resistance is changing. Like we have just I have just written one formula. Alpha is equal to some R2 minus R1, and here R0 T2 minus T1. This was this formula we had already. Means if there is very greater change in temperature, then for such kind of material, there is if it is very small, then definitely there will be very small change in resistance there. So it means that simple these for this kind of material, if you are making any standard resistor by using these alloys, then for that case there will not be the great change in the resistance of the resistor that we have used. And this is the property of the standard resistor, that should not be changed by any condition, means by any physical condition, like due to change in temperature its resistance should not change. So it means for the several Kelvin change in temperature, it is changing very small. Reason that it's this temperature coefficient is also very small. So this is the second advantage why we are using these kind of alloys to make a standard resistor. Third, their contact potential with copper is small. Means if we will use such kind of resistor, then if we will connect them by any copper wire, then they will drop very small potential of the battery. Means most of the energy, most of the potential will be safe in the circuit, and that kind of circuit we always provide where we can save our fuel easily. Next thing, why we are using it, these resistances are basically, these are not affected by atmospheric conditions like air, by moisture, etc. It means that if there is any condition that is present in our atmosphere, means resistors we are using in air, we are using in moisture condition, we are using winter rainy seasons, then due to that physical atmospheric condition, there should not be change in resistance. These are basically property of a standard resistor, and these properties are fulfilled by the alloys of manganese, constantan and Eureka. So that's why we are using basically such kind of material. Mostly we are using manganese for to make such kind of material there. So I think student, what is the change in resistance with temperature, and which kind of material we are using for the for making the standard resistor, and why we are using that material, what is the importance of this alpha to make any standard resistor, and to understand the properties of conductor, insulator or semiconductor. I think that you have got now. So today we have discussed a lot of topics, like how can we verify, how can we detect the Ohm's law, and how can we understand on which factor resistance, resistivity, that is depending on how it is changing with temperature. So all these things are not that is clear, and in next class students we will discuss the effect of temperature on resistivity. As you know that actually resistivity is fundamental property of material, then whether it is changing or not, means the basic property, can we change it for any material or not. So later we will see, yes, we can change it by the change in temperature. So I think that is now clear. Let's see one more numerical problem for this formula that we have written for the temperature change. So it is, the question is given, the resistance of a conductor at 30 degrees Celsius is 3.25 ohm. So here first temperature is given to us, that is 30 degrees Celsius, and the resistance is given, suppose R1 is the resistance as this temperature, so this is 3.25 ohm. Clear? Next thing, and at 100 degrees Celsius is 3.95. So R2 is 3.95 ohm at T2 is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. Then calculate the temperature coefficient of resistance of conductor and also the resistance of the conductor at 0 degrees Celsius. So we have to calculate first alpha, after that we have to calculate R0. So now we can use a formula, that is alpha is equal to, if you will use it, then definitely it will be equal to some R2 minus R1 upon R2 T2 minus R1 T1. You can also use this concept for the calculation of, I think R1 T2 should be here, R1 T2 and here R2 T1. This formula you can also derive by the same concept that we have written before. So if you will see that like suppose that formula if you have to derive, then you can derive it by some r1 is equal to r0 1 plus alpha t1, and r2 is equal to r0 1 plus alpha t2. So from here by these two concepts you can easily derive what will be the value. Even here if you can take r2 by r1, let's just see that first. r2 upon r1 if you will write, then this will be equal to 1 plus alpha t2 divided by 1 plus alpha t1. And now you can multiply these two terms and you can find out what is the value of alpha. So for that case alpha can be written in this way also. Clear? I think that is. So let's just write the values here. The r2 minus r1 if you will write, then you can just take minus here, so that will be equal to 0.70 ohm, and upon if this term you will solve, this will be equal to, after putting all these values, 206.5. So this is the value we have got, and after solving this we can obtain the value of alpha, that is 0.0034. This value of alpha that we have, this is the unit, it's per degree Celsius, it is its unit. So alpha can be calculated easily. Now as we have calculated alpha, then you can use any of the formula here. r1 is equal to r01 plus alpha t1. Only use that one or that one, it is depending on you. From there you can calculate what is the value of r0. As we have already all the values, then if you will calculate r0 from here, so r0 is just given by formula, you will calculate, this will be this value. So in this way students, easily by the concept, by the formula, you can solve all the questions that is given to you. So I think that concept we have discussed today, that is now clear. Then let's end the class here. In next class let's see how the resistivity is changing with temperature. So just end the class here today. Thank you students.